Welcome back. So in today's video, we're going to be covering a few different things. We're going to be covering how to use EZ Algo V2 and EZ Algo Oscillator Waves together. We're also going to be covering a few different strategies that you guys can use, hit the ground running with. As a reminder, the whole idea of V2 and EZ Algo Oscillator Waves, not only it's a complete system you can use to trade everything with, but have enough resources built in to tell you exactly what's going on at any given time in the market. We got enough tools in here that you can build your own strategies with. But in today's video, we're going to keep it light, show you how you can piece a few together in V2, how you can use oscillator waves to confirm that trend direction, and go from there. So before we get started, I want to show you guys Bitcoin here. This is an example that took place last night on Sunday. There's quite a few people that got excited about this move up on BTC. However, V2 and oscillator waves both were telling us this move was going to completely retrace back down. So for example here, price spiked up, hit our high range. We had a top alert. Our Stotch wave was the first to tell us that this move is going to be corrective by flipping bearish right here. Our trending candles started turning purple, which tells us that a reversal is attempting to take place. Our quick trend, which is this green and red line here, turned red. And what happened? Price just free fall right back down to our low range. So pretty simple method to use to verify breakouts. Wasn't planning to show this exact method here, but since it took place recently, thought it'd be pretty cool to see. Anyways, guys, let's get started. All right, so moving on. So one of the first strategies that we can use is just signal confluence. So of course our signals in the script is going to tell us the overall trend direction, but we can take it a step further and verify with a few different indicators of the likelihood or how strong that trend direction is, right? So for this strategy, all it is just basic signal confluence using a few different indicators inside V2. So what we have on the screen is our market trend line, our macro trend, our price action candles for confluence. And just to give us a range to target, we have our high and low zones populated on the screen, which of course you can go into settings, click on the script, and we can see that we have these populated up on the screen. So when we do have, let's say for example, a buy signal, which we had right here, we want to make sure that our price action candle dots are bullish, which are green. We want to make sure that our oscillator waves, momentum candles are green as well to match your trend direction. We want to make sure that our market trend line is also bullish, just to confirm that trend. Now, when we do overlay something over like our high and low ranges, then we can try to see how price reacts to these different range areas. So our equilibrium range right here, we can see that price struggled a little bit. We had a sell signal. Our sell signal corrected a few candles down. However, because our oscillator waves overlay was still green, our macro trend was still green, saying that the trend is still bullish. The correction was pretty light. We could see the reversal right here with the trend candles, momentum candles, I should say. And then price went right back up. We had another buy signal here, and price continued up until it hit the high range, and then it corrected back down to our equilibrium range. So all this is just a simple way to add confluence. When we do see these signals, we do use our optimal range. It says 3 to 5 here. So if we go into settings, signal sensitivity, we have it a little bit light at a 3. We can see how these signals populate in the chart. We can basically just use some confluence to see how strong those trend directions are going to be. And that's all to say let's say if you're going to just live take profit versus just simply using the preset take profits in the script. Or if, let's say you see a buy signal, right, but you miss the signal itself, but you want to see is it still a good time to enter into the chart? Well, if our setup quality score is still a little bit high, at least above 50%, 55% is okay, then the trade is most likely worth taking. We just want to monitor a few different things. make sure that our momentum candles are still strong. If the overall trend is saying that it's back in an uptrend, and if our macro trend cloud is saying that price is going to be continuing up here. So this is just one strategy to show you guys. Quick signal confluence. Now in the same way, opposite direction, our sell signal. Plus sign means that there's more momentum that happened when the signal took place. It's trying to reverse. We had our price action candle dots are bearish, followed right through. Price dumped to the bottom of the cloud, where we had a temporary bottom signal. Now remember, our bottom signals don't necessarily mean it's an absolute bottom, but it can mean it's going to be in an area where price is probably going to stall at. Might stall, it might chop around. And when we do see those, we can reevaluate, should I take profit here? Should I take more off the table? Or is the signal still good enough that I'm just going to ride it out, right? Maybe I want to tighten my stops up. But even then, we can see that even with our market trend line, it acted like a trending resistance and carried price all the way down until ultimately, using the oscillator waves, we can see the build up right here. Momentum candles built back up. We got a buy signal and price shot right back up. So a pretty cool way that we can use, just using a few simple indicators just to confirm that direction. And it helps us to live monitor our trades if we so choose to. All right, so next, let's take a look at SPX. Using a few different indicators on the screen. So for this strategy, it's another confirmation strategy. This time we're using our quick trend for added confluence. Now this range is a little bit choppy, as you can see, using our ranges right here. But even then, our buy and sell signals was mapping this out quite accurately. We have our macro trend, our price action candles, quick trend for confluence, our ranges, and basically it's simple as just following what it's telling us to follow. We had our buy signal right here, came early. We could simply just follow the quick trend and follow our macro trend cloud. Up here, we had a top alert, sell signal, price move back down, buy signal, sell signal. And literally this is just plain ping pong in this range. But even so, we were still able to scalp this range if we so choose to on 4-hour time frame and play this trend and just milk it as much as we can, right? So even in those scenarios and instances where price isn't really trending, it's just bouncing back and forth, we can still use a few tools in V2 and use oscillator waves to confirm and just play these bounces, right? Okay, so next, another easy strategy you guys can do is order block scalping. All that is just we're playing the order blocks here as our resistance and support levels. So when it gets to a point where price is at a resistance order block and it's starting to stall out, we can simply try to see if the oscillator is confirming that direction. So as you can see right here, we're starting to get a few top alerts right up here. We hit this top resistance. Our oscillator candles and our stop wave is starting to come down pretty rapidly. Sometimes price is going to be just stagnant or be a little bit difficult, and we just got to be patient. But eventually what happens is price will come right back down to our order block, and then we can just target that as a quick scalp to take profit. So using order blocks is a good way to map out our support and resistance levels and try to play the move in between. Now, of course, our quick trend as well here is just going to map this entire move out for us as well. Okay, another strategy that we can use these algos for is just for trying to catch breakouts. So here, for breakout trading, we have our reversal zones, which basically is just going to label potential reversal points on price, or areas where price is going to be trending up or trending down if price is above our midline here for a reversal zone. We have our squeeze zones highlighted here, and we have our momentum candle markers, which are these arrows. And we have our support and resistance bands up on the screen as well. So whenever you guys see something like this, when you have these on and you see a point where, let's say there's a squeeze zone, we want to see what direction that squeeze is going to be taking place, right? What direction is price going to try to break out from after it's consolidating? So a quick, easy way that we can do is we can use our quick trend again if we want to. Our breakout arrows are going to be pretty good to use, these momentum candle markers. And when they usually populate up, it's indicating to us that price is attempting to break forward. And we can do one of two things. We can either target the top of these ranges right here of our reversal zone, or we can just simply ride our quick trend line, or we can just ride price up as long as price stays above this mid zone line. Now, of course, we have our sell signals and our buy signals. We can just simply follow those. But if you guys want to take quicker trades, take profit sooner, or you don't want to wait around for these consolidation periods, you just want to try to catch that move that comes right out of it, we can simply use that. And as you can see here, we had bottom markers right here, indicating that this zone is probably going to be a bottom or accumulation, consolidation, whatever you want to call it. Our momentum candle started growing out of here. Price ended up following, right? And then this breakout led a move from, 43, all the way up to above 116. It's a pretty solid move on hood. And that's just simply using our squeeze zones, our reversal zones, to try to map out how price is moving within that range, and a few different things that we can use to verify those trend directions. All right, so another signal with Confluence that we can use as well too on our when we do have our buy and sell signals, we could also use our quick trend, and we can have both of these scalp and swing indicators added along with our macro trend cloud. So if you go into the script settings for V2, go down to quick trend and hit both. What that is going to do is it's going to overlay our short-term trend, how price is moving, but it's also going to give us this longer-term trend line that's going to tell us the overall price direction. So it's a good way that we can map out how price is bouncing in these downtrends, as well as if there's any momentum shifts that's taking place on lower time frames, and to see if a trade is still worth being in, if we should tighten up our stop losses, or if we should exit the trade and wait for a new setup to take place. Now for Bitcoin 12-hour here, all of our take profit markers already hit here, which is pretty good. This was a solid trade that took place since the highs. Our Oscillator Waves is just going to verify that trend direction. So our overlay right here, which is this green and pinkish red cloud, is going to tell us the overall direction, which is going to usually map up with this. And we can literally map out how price is moving. So we can see how price bounces up here. We can see our stop wave flip bearish. Price starts correcting. We can see another attempt at it try to bounce, gets rejected here. And we can see price then go right back down. Now even here, we can just still see that price is now in this weird just consolidation sideways range. Our higher time frame trend is still pointing down, and we're still waiting for a trend shift right here. But as far as the meat of the move goes for something like this strong sell signal we had on 12-hour, I'd say most of this move is done. But again, this is something that we can use on different time frames, different types of markets, and just a easy, clean way that we can just add something for Confluence. And if we want, we can just follow how price is developing, and we can follow these moves down, or frankly follow these moves up. So again, this is just another tool that we can use to add Confluence with our signals. We're just using quick trend, both of these, the scalp and the swing, macro trend cloud, and some price action candle dots. And we're using our oscillator waves just to verify if there's any momentum shifts taking place, which as of right now, we had some happen right here, but still pretty weak as price is still moving sideways. But overall, it's pretty clean to use together just for adding Confluence. Now, if we want something like a parabolic chart, as we're like following price action like that, let's pull up silver right here. We have 4-hour time frame. You can clearly see that our oscillator waves, the overlay trend cloud, has just been green for this entire up move from this move range that started around 50 right here, all the way up to, what was the high price for silver? 83, which is crazy. Our price action dots was kind of leading the way. We have some momentum candle markers up on here to show us when these new breakouts were taking place. And our market trend line has been acting kind of as a trending support line for this. Even so that we had a strong sell signal populate here and price fell back down, now it's just resting on our market trend line. And we can clearly see the shift that took place here using our oscillator waves. It broke out. We have our momentum candles. We can see the consolidation points here as our candles were kind of just going sideways here, trying to reverse, staying in that uptrend. But finally, after this large move, it finally shifted over. We got some really nasty red candles on our oscillator. And we had quite a large move for silver to fall down the other day. So it's pretty easy to use. It's just using a few different Confluence factors. These indicators work really well together in a variety of different combinations. It's basically whatever works best for you. But there's a variety of different ways we can use these tools together just to verify how price is moving in this up or down trend.